Hi guys, let's talk about how to have a good girls trip, because my whole For You page is constant, even Twitter is constantly this happened, I had to cut this person off, girls trip nightmares, Miami this, Dubai this. I don't know how many I've been on, but I've been on so many trips with my girls, so many different girls, different proximities, different closeness, and I've never had a bad girls trip ever. If I could go back and relive every single girls trip I've gone on, I probably would. There's not one that I'm like, oh, I wish I didn't do that. So I have some tips. Girls trips are amazing. Let's talk about how to have a good one. Step one, this will seem obvious, but it's not for some. Don't go on a trip with people you don't actually like. And when I say don't like, that means you have any kind of animosity. This person irritates you in this way. Obviously, no one's perfect and you're going to have the things you like and don't like about your friends, but you know deep down if you like a person or not. You know if you're saying yes to a trip just because you want to be able to be on a beach or take some photos over the fact that you want to spend quality time with this person. Just don't do it. And if you feel like someone else has that towards you, you might want to think about that properly. Step two is to check the cost of living in the place you're going. I do this for every single trip. I usually Google how much you spend in a day in a certain country and these travel blogs come up and they explain it. Make sure you're happy with that cost of living, because that is a massive restriction on a trip if people don't agree with that. Step three is to have a deadline for booking. People are going to come up with excuses as much as they can, especially when you're younger. We're not as smart with money. So if the money's there, they might just spend it on something else. So come up with a deadline and say to everyone, this is when we're going to do it. This is when the prices will be best. If you don't make that time, you probably won't get a space, just to make sure that we can accommodate for everyone. And make sure everyone agrees on that date, because then if someone's like, oh, I couldn't make it, you can actually just say, actually, we all agreed on this together. Step four is to collect activity ideas from everyone. Start a shared notes or Google Drive and everyone can just drop in their ideas so that no one feels like they were left out or this trip wasn't for them. And to make it even better, maybe get everyone to write down the prices of each thing so that you guys can start to build up your itinerary. Step five, I would say, depending on how big the group is, pre-book like 1 to 3 activities. Say if it was a week trip, try and book like 1 or 2 or 3 activities. I'd say don't book all of them because things can fall through. You might change your mind, but also it's nice to book so you have some structure to work around, especially if you know you want to be going out like every other night. It would be good to book a table for every other night in advance. Step six, again, would sound a bit obvious, but don't be a bitch. Like if you don't like food or you're constantly complaining or you're feeling lazy, you're like, oh, I'm tired, I don't want to go out, you are going to now make everyone else feel like the day isn't good as it should be. Naturally, people with empathy will want everyone to enjoy. So if you're not really enjoying something, sometimes it's better to just stay quiet and just firm it rather than vocalizing that and making everyone feel like they're now forcing you to do something. Because realistically, unless you can stop it or go back in time, there's literally no point in bringing bad vibes. So you might as well keep that to yourself. Do you know what I mean? Step seven, I would say, is have backup things to do. Bring a book or bring your iPad or bring a console. Bring something to do. If you're not feeling well, you know, the night before you might have eaten something, you might want to stay in. You have something to do in case you genuinely just can't go out that day. I came on my period day 1 or 2 in Barcelona and it was awful, but we had a workaround. So have something to do just in case you need some alone time. Step 8 is to set up a Splitwise. I think with people using card and cash and you have to pay for Ubers and things, it's kind of hard to know who's spending what. And especially if you guys are a bit younger, it's good to make sure you're all spending or being paid back fairly. So start a Splitwise. That app is amazing. And maybe every night everyone can sit down and just add any expenses so that by the end of the trip, you can all wrap it up and pay whoever needs some money. So guys, those are my tips and tricks to have a good girls trip. I'd say step 1 is the most important. Please do not go on trips with people that you don't actually like. It doesn't matter how badly you want the photos and you want the Instagrams and you want to make TikToks. It is not worth it. It is really not worth it to put yourself at risk. You could be on a night out and this person just leaves you because they just feel like, I'm not really close to her, I never really liked her, I'll just go home. That is such a bad situation to be in another country where you can't ring up your mum. So follow me on TikTok. I post so much more there. I'm trying to get more active on here. If any brands want to work together or create some UGC, I also do that. This is my portfolio. And subscribe because I will be doing more videos like these. I'm about to film another one.